And now, Dr. Kristi DeSaro from Richboro, Pennsylvania.
There you go. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about what chiropractic is, what chiropractic isn't, and how it can impact your life. But the first thing that we need to understand is what your most important asset is. The thing that if you lose it, nothing else matters. And that, of course, is your health. To demonstrate how important that is, I want you to imagine for a second that you came across a magic lamp. You rub that lamp, the genie comes out and says, "Your wish is my command." What are you going to wish for? Some of you are going to wish for a nice vacation on the beach. Some are going to wish for a brand new car, right? Some are going to wish to win the lottery, right? Not bad choices any way you go. So now you've got that. But now you lose your health. So instead of laying on the beach, you're laying on the bathroom floor. You won the lottery, but you're in the end process of a disease. What is any of that worth to you now? I think we can all agree, if you lose your health, nothing else really matters. So with it being your most important asset, what you need to understand is who needs to be in control of that? You do, not anybody else. The problem is this. Most people, what they think health is they judge their health on how they look or how they feel. And when you do that, most people aren't paying attention to your health until you look bad or feel bad. And if you do that, you're missing out on the top killers in the United States today, right? So I've got some images here. Patrick Swayze, looking pretty good there, right? Not looking so good, right? That's the same person. But I can tell you right now that that second picture, he lost his health long before he looked like that. Would you agree? We all know someone who felt fine one day and had a heart attack the next. And if you asked them the day before they had that heart attack how they felt, what did they probably say? Feel fine, right? Despite the fact that they felt fine, were they healthy the day before they had a heart attack? Absolutely not, right? Most of the time it's the first symptom. You don't feel that plaque building. Cancer. Most of the time it's diagnosed on a routine exam. Symptoms haven't even shown up yet. The reality is pretty scary. 5 out of 6 people die because they live with the philosophy of waiting until they feel it. So what are symptoms? Symptoms are basically just a manifestation of something functioning poorly. So whether it's headaches, low back pain, neck pain, any of those things, they're there as a result of dysfunction. They're there to say, hey, something's not working right here. The pain isn't the problem. The pain or the symptom is telling you that there is a problem, right? And most people, unfortunately, ignore it until it interferes with something that's important to them. Whether that's playing with their kids or their grandkids, whether it's their golf game, or whether it's getting a good night's sleep, and then they decide, hey, maybe I should do something about this. But the symptoms are basically your body's fire alarm, right? What's the procedure for most people when they feel pain or symptom? Unfortunately, it's drugs, right? They're looking for a blue, purple, rainbow, zebra stripe pill, something, and they think that that's going to make everything all good, right? The world's a better place now. But I can tell you that is exactly what chiropractic is not, right? Someone comes into a chiropractic office with headaches. Are we going to tell them to take Tylenol? No. Why? Because I don't think their headaches are there as a result of a Tylenol shortage in their body. So why do I just want to cover up a symptom? I don't. I want to find out what's causing it, and we're going to talk about that more in a minute. If you take those medications, is the problem still there? Just because you don't feel the headache doesn't mean that the dysfunction went away. If someone's on a lot of meds, right? If they're coming in carrying a gallon-sized bag full of bottles of pills, is that a picture of health? If they need an Excel spreadsheet just to organize the prescriptions they've been given when they come into a chiropractic office, is that someone who's healthy or not? No. That's not a picture of health, right? We consume as a country the most drugs by far out of any other country in the world. So if you're going to go logically with that, if we're consuming the most drugs and drugs make you healthy, that shouldn't we be ranked the healthiest country by far as well? And we're not. We don't even come close to cracking the top 10. If you never put out the fire, what happens to the building, right? My husband's a fireman. Understand, if you unplug the fire alarm and ignore the fact that it's going off because your house is burning down, there's a problem, okay? Drugs do not equal health. Health is not an outside-in job. Health comes from the inside. The actual definition of health by the World Health Organization is health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease, okay? So we know that health comes from the inside out. Now we get to talk about the fun part. Would you all agree that from conception to death, there's an intelligence that runs the show? Right? From the time we're born till the time we die. Right? There's something running the show. We call that your innate intelligence. Okay? And it does things like tells your heart to beat, tells you to breathe in, breathe out, tells you to digest that dinner that you had tonight. It even heals the cut that's on your finger. It's not the Band-Aid, right? You have an entire drugstore inside your body, and your body does things that even the most brilliant scientists can't reproduce in a lab. They know it happens, but they don't know how. But we know that the body does it. So you've got all of these things happening. How does it happen? Intelligence comes from the brain, goes down across that nervous system out to every single part of your body, flows across out to every organ and cell and tissue. And that's how that information gets there. 70 trillion cells live and act, and why do they do that? Because the brain tells them to. It's as simple as that. So what's our job? Our job as chiropractors is to make sure that that intelligence, that life that's flowing from above down through your body can get from point A to point B at 100% with no interference. That intelligence that's flowing across keeps you alive. A corpse, dead body, has the same anatomy, right? It has a nervous system, it has a brain, it has all the nerves, 12 miles of nerves coming out, but there's no life flowing across it anymore. And that's the difference. That absence of life, even if you start choking it off, leads to disease and death to whatever part of the body that it was going to. The spine's job is to protect those soft nerves, much like your skull protects your brain, right? Nervous system's so important, it's the only system that's protected by bone. So here's the basic idea, and I will tell you it's much more complex than this. But the spine is made up of a bunch of movable bones, and which means they can also move or shift out of position or misalign themselves. When they do that, instead of protecting that nerve, they're squishing it. Kind of like if you've ever stepped or kinked a garden hose, right? We've all done that. You can either cut it off completely, you can slow it down to get a drink of water, but as soon as you put pressure on that, you can't get that water coming out. You can't get that message coming out the way that it's meant to. It's like a dimmer switch to that organ. They've done studies, the weight of a dime on that nerve can choke that message off that's trying to get from your brain to your body from 40 to 60%. 40 to 60% by the weight of a dime. What do we call that pressure on the nerve? We call it a subluxation. Rhymes with subway station. I tell people that's the easy way to remember it, right? Okay. So we've got this diagram here that hopefully you can see. But here's the basic idea. You've got your brain and you've got your body, and the only way those two things are connected is through those nerves. So I'm going to demonstrate for a second here what a subluxation looks like. We're going to pretend that my hand is your brain, okay? My finger is the nerve that's coming out from in between those bones. And we're going to create a subluxation here by wrapping this rubber band around my finger and putting pressure on that nerve. Now, let's say that that nerve is going to my stomach. I don't care if you had the most perfectly nutritious meal today, that it had every nutrient your body possibly needed. If the messages from my brain that are going to my body to tell it how to process that food and absorb those nutrients and utilize that perfect food are only getting there at 50%, then what's that perfect food now worth to my body? You don't have to be a math genius to figure that one out, right? Okay? So now what are we going to do about that? This part of your body, let's say it's your stomach, isn't getting the message anymore. I can exercise, right? Exercise is a great thing to do for your body, right? But if I don't take the pressure off the nerve and I do all the exercise in the world, is that going to make a bit of difference to getting that message there? Right? What if I eat some more good food? What if I take a Tylenol? What if I take an anti-inflammatory? It looks like it's getting a little swollen there. I take that, but I leave the pressure on the nerve. Does that make a bit of difference? No, okay? I can inject something and I can do whatever I want. But until I do this, until I take that pressure off the nerve, which is the chiropractic adjustment, that's not going to make a bit of difference. We need to get the pressure off the nerve and restore that function. This diagram shows same nerve that goes to your hand goes to your heart. Nerves that come out of your low back, they don't just go to the muscles, they go to your colon too. So when you come in with low back pain, good. I'm glad it motivated you to do something. Because when we can get in there and take the pressure off that nerve, now the messages are getting back to the muscles, they're also getting to the colon and everything else. You could feel the muscles, but you couldn't feel the colon. People don't die of low back pain, but they do die of colon cancer. They don't die of carpal tunnel, but they die of heart disease. Chiropractors detect and correct subluxations. Here's what I know. Everybody wants chiropractic. They may not know it yet. But the reality is this. The chiropractic adjustment releases pressure off of those nerves and allows more life to get to your body, to every part of your body. And if I ask Mary, hey Mary, Mary, you want more life to go into your heart today or less life? More life, thank you. How about Joe? You want more life going to your pancreas or less? More. Hey, Joe, do you know what your pancreas does? No, but you want more life going there, don't you? You absolutely do. You're healthier not because the symptom is gone, but because life is traveling to the body the way it's supposed to. Move toward health. You're moving in one direction or another. Pop quiz. Subluxation's good or bad? This is real simple, people. How do you know if you have a subluxation? You can't wait till it hurts. Get checked. If you have one, when do you want it gone? Now. How long do you want it to be gone? It's your health, you do the healing. We expect people to get well. Why? Because it's a law, the intelligence is there. We just need to release it and keep it connected. The information's great, but if you don't use that information, it's like having the winning lottery ticket, framing it and putting it on your wall and never using it and never cashing it in. Right? We want you to use this information. You're in control. What you need to do is you need to take action, and you need to let chiropractic help you live the life that you were meant to live. That's what it's there for.
Thank you.